It all began with a casual hello. Moving into my new apartment had been exhausting. Boxes, stairs, and the general chaos of settling in. But I didn't expect a simple greeting to change my life. As I wrestled with a heavy box, I noticed him. My neighbor. Tall, effortlessly handsome, with a smile that seemed to reach all the way to his eyes. "Hey there," he said casually, leaning against his doorframe. "Need a hand?" My heart skipped a beat. Maybe just a little," I admitted, trying not to sound flustered. He introduced himself as Alex, and his easy charm made me immediately at ease. At first, our conversations were light and friendly, small talk about the building, favorite restaurants, even TV shows, but I noticed the sparks. The way his eyes lingered a fraction too long, the brush of his hand when handing me a package, the subtle curve of his smile when I laughed. Days passed, and we kept running into each other. Every encounter left me tingling with anticipation, and I had to admit I was thinking about him constantly. One evening, I was struggling with groceries when he appeared again. "Need some help with those?" he asked, flashing that disarming smile. "You're awfully helpful lately," I teased, feeling a blush creeping up my cheeks. "Just making sure my favorite neighbor doesn't get crushed by her own groceries," he said, his hand brushing mine as he took a bag. That touch sent a jolt through me, leaving my thoughts spinning long after he walked away. That night, I replayed every detail, his touch, his smile, the way his gaze lingered, and I realized how much I was drawn to him. A few days later, Alex showed up at my door with a small plate of cookies. "Baked too many. Thought you might like some," he said, his grin playful. We sat on my couch, casually sharing cookies, but the air between us felt electric. His knee brushed mine, and then his hand lingered just a second too long near mine. I caught my breath. "You know," he said softly, leaning closer, "there's something about you. I can't stop thinking about you." My heart raced. I feel the same," I whispered. That was the spark. Our first kiss was tentative, then hungry, then utterly consuming. Everything I had felt, the stolen glances, the subtle touches, the growing tension, erupted in that one moment. The world outside disappeared. From there, things moved quickly. We started spending more time together. Cooking dinners, watching movies, sharing long walks. Everything became an excuse to be close. Every brush of his hand, every casual touch, sent shivers down my spine. I could see it in his eyes too, the same heat, the same desire. One night, we ended up on my balcony, the city lights twinkling below us. He wrapped his arms around me, pulling me close. "I can't get enough of you," he whispered, his lips grazing my ear. I shivered in his embrace, knowing I felt the same. Our passion became undeniable. Nights together were filled with whispered confessions, playful teasing, and intimate exploration. But it wasn't just physical, it was emotional. He listened, he cared, he made me feel desired and understood in a way I had never experienced. The romance grew naturally, fueled by laughter, stolen glances, and small, intimate gestures. One lazy Sunday, we cooked breakfast together, our hands brushing, laughter echoing in the kitchen. Later, sitting close on the couch, his hand found mine again. The tension was palpable, unspoken yet undeniable. Our first night together was unforgettable. It wasn't rushed. Every kiss, every touch was savored. He made me feel adored, desired, and safe, while also igniting a fiery passion I hadn't known existed. From gentle caresses to deeper intimacy, we explored each other fully, the physical connection only amplifying the emotional bond between us. Days turned into weeks, and our connection deepened. Every encounter carried both anticipation and comfort. A casual hello became a touch that lingered. A shared smile became a lingering kiss. Every moment between us was charged with desire, yet grounded in care and affection. Even simple evenings, like watching a movie on my couch or sharing a quiet dinner, were filled with an unspoken electricity. We found joy in small things, his hand brushing mine, our feet touching under the table, the warmth of his body close to mine. Each touch, each glance, strengthened the bond we had begun with that first hello. Eventually, the rest of the world faded away. Our relationship became a beautiful mix of friendship, romance, and passion. I found myself longing for his presence, and he for mine, every day. We laughed, we teased, we explored our desires together, and every moment only made us more inseparable. Looking back, it amazed me how a simple greeting had transformed everything. A casual hello had turned into nights of passion, deep conversations, and a love I hadn't thought I'd find so quickly. Alex had stolen my heart, and I had given it to him without hesitation. And from that moment on, every hello carried the promise of desire. Every glance hinted at passion. Every touch was a reminder that sometimes, the most unexpected encounters can lead to the most intense, irresistible connections. Moving in had been exhausting, but as I unpacked the last of my boxes, I caught a glimpse of him again. Alex was outside, watering plants on his balcony. Our eyes met, and he gave me a small, knowing smile. My stomach fluttered. Later that afternoon, I ran into him in the hallway carrying groceries. "Hey, looks heavy," he said, setting down his own bags to help. "Thanks. I didn't expect to run into anyone helpful today," I teased, feeling my cheeks warm. He leaned closer slightly, brushing his fingers against mine as he handed me a bag. That fleeting contact sent sparks racing through me, and I had to look away, pretending to adjust a strap on my bag. Over the next few days, our interactions became a delightful routine. Every hallway encounter felt charged, every casual smile seemed like a secret. He had a way of making the mundane feel exciting. I found myself planning my errands to cross paths with him. One evening, he knocked on my door. "I made too many cookies," he said, holding a plate with a playful grin. "Thought you might want some." We sat on my couch, sharing cookies, but the air felt charged with anticipation. He leaned closer than necessary, and our knees brushed repeatedly. Every accidental touch left me shivering. "You know," he said softly, brushing a stray hair from my face, "I've been wanting to tell you something." My heart thumped. "Yes. There's something about you I can't stop thinking about," he admitted, eyes locked with mine. I felt my breath catch. "I feel the same," I whispered. That night, we shared our first kiss. It started soft, almost tentative, but quickly became urgent, hungry. His hands cradled my face, fingers tangling in my hair, and I felt a warmth spread through me that left me dizzy. The world outside faded completely. From there, we became inseparable. Cooking together, watching movies, sharing walks, they were all excuses to be near each other. Every touch, glance, or casual brush of hands felt electric. One weekend, we decided to go for a hike. The sunlight filtered through the trees, illuminating the trail, but I hardly noticed the scenery. I was too focused on the way his hand brushed mine as we walked, the occasional teasing glances he threw my way, and the subtle heat radiating from his body. "Careful," he whispered suddenly, as I slipped slightly on a rock. He caught me effortlessly, his hands firm on my waist. I looked up into his eyes and felt a shiver of desire. "I've got you," he said, and there was something in his tone that made my heart race. That night, back at my apartment, the tension had grown too strong to ignore. We ended up on my balcony, the city lights twinkling below. His hand brushed mine, lingering just long enough for me to feel the electricity. "I can't stop thinking about you," he admitted, his voice low and husky. "Me neither," I confessed, my voice trembling slightly. He leaned in, capturing my lips in a kiss that was soft, tender, yet deeply passionate. The world melted away, our surroundings, the distant sounds of the city, until nothing existed but the two of us. Our intimacy deepened gradually. Nights spent in each other's arms were filled with playful teasing, whispered confessions, and fiery passion. He learned how to read me, what touches made me shiver, what words made me melt, and I learned the same about him. Every encounter was a blend of emotional closeness and physical intensity. Over the next few weeks, our connection continued to grow. He would leave small notes at my door, or text a playful message that made my heart skip a beat. Sometimes it was a casual glance that lasted just a little too long. Other times, it was an unexpected touch, a hand brushing my shoulder, fingers intertwining as we walked, that left me breathless. One rainy evening, he knocked on my door with a mischievous smile. "Storm's getting heavy, mind if I stay?" I felt my pulse quicken. "Of course," I said, trying to sound casual, though my mind was racing. We sat close together on the couch, the rain tapping against the window. He draped a blanket over both of us, and soon we were pressed close, talking softly and laughing, but the tension between us was undeniable. Every time his hand brushed mine, every time our knees touched, it sent waves of heat through me. Finally, he leaned closer, capturing my lips in a kiss that left me trembling. The passion escalated slowly, with every touch, every whisper, drawing us closer. We explored each other with a mix of tenderness and fiery desire, each moment deepening the bond we had formed.